welcome back to my channel. My name is Marla and I am a mom of 3, and we like to make our own breakfast and actually all our own meals as much as we can from home and consume the least amount of processed food that we can, just for health reasons. And I've been getting a lot of requests to share easy but nutritious kid breakfast recipes, so that's what I'm gonna do today. Today I am sharing with you a super simple but way too good cereal recipe. It's kind of like a granola cereal, and I'll also show you how we make our own nut milk as well, and it takes like 5 seconds. And it's a perfect breakfast. I make this usually like a huge batch in the beginning of the week, and then I just keep it in an airtight container throughout the whole week. And my kids will eat it for breakfast, and it stays nice and crunchy the whole week. So it is so delicious. You could also put it on top of yogurt and stuff too. The recipe is very simple. The ingredients are minimal, so let's get started. Alright guys, the ingredients are super simple. The first thing you want to make sure is that you have some sort of baking sheet with parchment paper, and then over here I have some organic arrowroot starch. This is what's going to make it nice and crunchy. Here's just a little bit of pink salt and then a little bit of baking soda and some Ceylon cinnamon, but you could definitely leave the cinnamon out, or you can add any other flavor you want, like cocoa powder even, to make it chocolate. Just a mixing spoon. This here is actually some organic millet flour, but you can use any flour you want. You can use brown rice, you can use buckwheat, you can use almond flour, you can use whole wheat flour, so just do whichever you like. And then here are some organic gluten-free rolled oats. These are the best. I don't know what company this is. I actually buy mine in bulk, but these like specific rolled oats just work the best in this recipe, and they are delicious. And then you want coconut oil or butter, but you definitely want a saturated fat for this recipe to hold it together really well. And then honey. This was a huge jug of honey, and then I cut it in half so I can get to the bottom part that firms up, but this is just raw honey. You can use coconut sugar, you can use white sugar, you can use maple syrup. I use honey just because it's one of the healthier options. And it's super simple. You literally just combine all of these ingredients together and mix it really well. So I'll just add my oats in and the flour of choice. And I made up this recipe, so it's always different every time I cook it up, but the full recipe will be in the description box below. And the baking soda, salt, arrowroot, and cinnamon. You can also use tapioca, but I just really like the arrowroot the best. And then you just want to give everything in the bowl a stir until it's like completely combined, and then we'll add the wet ingredients. So as you can see, I just added coconut oil and honey. Now this is the hard part. You're gonna usually have to get your hands in here to crumble it all together. So what I like to do is coat the coconut oil and the honey in the oats and the flour so it doesn't stick to my hands too much. And then I'll get in there with my hands and just combine it all. So just going in, as you can see, and I'm literally gonna just get the coconut oil mixed with all of the honey and the oats and the flour, and that's pretty much it. It is this simple, and like I said, you can add chocolate, like cocoa powder. You could throw in walnuts or any type of slivered almonds. So here you could literally just go nuts with the mix-ins or the flavors. It's up to you. We keep it simple, and I love to top it with some fresh berries and some homemade nut milk, which I will show you how to make at the end of the video. Alright guys, so what you're looking for is a texture that stays together when you squeeze it. If it clumps together like this, that's perfect. If not, if it's just like no matter what you do, it's crumbling. See how it's a big clump? That's good. If it just keeps crumbling, then you're gonna wanna add more coconut oil or honey or something to get it to stick together. Like I said, because I made up the recipe and I never really measure the ingredients, and the amounts in the description box below might have to be changed a little bit depending on the flour you use, etc. But this is pretty much what you're looking for, something that can stay like a clump. So just grab the baking sheet, and it's as simple as just dumping it onto the sheet. And what I like to do is just kind of spread it out, but I also kind of like to clump it up a little bit in my hands because I do like to have some bigger chunks in the cereal. So you just get in there, and you can make as big as a batch as you want. And that's it, it's that simple. So now that my sheet has the mixture on it, we're just gonna pop it in the oven and bake it up. All right guys, this is what it should look like before it goes in the oven. And what I like to do before I put it in is just put little clumps of coconut oil along the top so that it can melt and make it even crispier while it's in the oven. But you definitely don't have to do that. It's still really good if you don't add the coconut oil. But that's just what I always do when I bake anything that's like a crumble or a granola texture. So I'm just gonna pop it in the oven and we're gonna bake this anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes. It really depends on the size of your batch. So this for me here is about a double batch. So I'm probably gonna do between 15 and 20 minutes. But pretty much you just keep checking on it until it's nice golden brown and then it's done. So it's super simple. All right, while they're in the oven, we're gonna make our nut milk and it could not be easier. You just need some nut butter. I'll focus it here for you. You can use any nut butter of choice. I'm using raw almond butter, but you can use cashew butter. You can literally use any butter you want and you just need a blender. So I use about 1 tablespoon for 1.5 cups of liquid of water. So if you wanna make a lot of nut milk, if you have a big family, then just do more nut butter and more water. Again, recipe will be in the description box below. So all you do is I just like having like this little bullet blender, and I just take 1 big heaping scoop, I'll just make sure it's focused, and you just pour it in and then fill the rest up with water. So as you can see, there's nut butter and water, and then I just take it, flip it upside down, and blend it on up. All right, there you have it. That's the nut milk. It is so easy to make and it tastes so good. So you can do one step further and I'll add a little bit of vanilla bean. You can do a little bit of salt and even a little bit of honey to make it sweeter if that's what you like. You could add chocolate to make a chocolate milk, but it's so simple and you just can pour it over the cereal and this lasts a few days in the fridge. All right, I just crumbled it up. I just wanted to show you how it holds its shape so well. It is just so delicious. We make this over and over again, and I really hope you do too. And if you do try it, tag me on social media. My Instagram handle is in the description box below, along with the recipe.